Hi, I'm Stephanie, one of the advisors here at Generate, and I'm here with Dan Frost, one of our equity portfolio managers.
Good morning. How things?
Good, thanks. So I guess the big news in August is that the RBNZ cut the official cash rate.
Yeah, so last time we were talking was Ayrton talking about the Reserve Bank and would they cut rates. He talked about the fact that it was a live meeting. There's a very real prospect that the Reserve Bank would cut interest rates for the first time in this cycle. And yes, indeed, they did, as everyone probably knows. The big news was probably the change to the interest rate track. And so their interest rate forecasts were changed quite significantly. If you take, for example, the final quarter in 2025, and so a bit over a year away, they dropped the average to 3.85%. So that means that they're expecting the official cash rate to be at 3.75% at the end of calendar year 2025. That's 6 cuts from here.
Yeah.
Now, if you look going back to May, when they did their last set of forecasts, they still had interest rates above 5% at that time. So quite a big change that they've made there.
Yeah. So great news for borrowers. What does it tell us about the economic environment?
Yeah, good question. And so the Reserve Bank is cutting interest rates because they're seeing weakness in the economy. A good example of that is their unemployment forecasts. They put the unemployment rate to be at 5.4% in the first quarter of next year. So that's increasing from 4.6 to 5.4%. That's a very quick step up in unemployment. So that's saying that they're seeing the economy being weak. That means that there's less inflationary pressures, so they can start to reduce interest rates.
And what are companies saying about the economy?
Yeah, that's a timely question. We've just gone through our reporting season, so New Zealand and Australian companies have reported their results. They talk about their financial results, meet with investors one-on-one and talk about how they've gone in the past period and what they're seeing at the moment. It was a mixed bag, but it was pretty much as bad as we'd expected. We've been talking about this for quite a while, that we're seeing sort of weakness in the economy. So if we take good news to start with, Freightways came out and said that while the economy was tough, they gained market share, and so they've managed to maintain revenues. But then if you take a few retailers that sit across the Tasman, and so they've got operations in both Australia and New Zealand, Nick Scali, Harvey Norman and Kmart, owners Wesfarmers, all came out and said that New Zealand is a lot tougher than Australia at the moment. So they're really talking about not the period that they're reporting on, but the absolute current what's happening right now. So I guess that's the sort of news that's influencing the Reserve Bank's decision making.
Right. Now, power prices have been in the news recently. What drove them up so high?
Yeah, no, that's really interesting, especially if you're an equity geek. So what's happened is that there's been a low level of rainfall through winter. It might not have seemed it, but there has been. And so the lake levels that power the hydroelectric generation have dropped to really low levels, or did so in sort of early to mid-August. Now, usually what will happen is that you'll substitute some of the hydro generation for gas-fired generation, but at the moment we've got a shortage of gas. A lot of the drilling programs that the companies have done to try and maintain the gas fields and increase production have been unsuccessful. Kupe was a good example of that the news came out in June, July, that their drilling program was unsuccessful, that the volumes that are coming out of that field would be lower than expected. And so rather than being able to just switch from the water to the gas, people had to find other sources of generation. Now, one example is that there's a diesel-fired generation plant that gets used in tight times, just at the absolute peak times. Now, that was being used as base load. So power prices went through the roof. All these other alternatives are really expensive, and people only bring them on if power prices are extremely high. What's happened since is that we've seen a bit more rainfall. We've also seen Methanex give some gas back to the gas market, and some of the very, very large users reduce their demand. And so electricity prices have come back. But yeah, it was very tight at one stage.
Yeah, will these prices feed through to the massive profits for the electricity companies?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of allegations of profiteering from these companies, but unfortunately the reverse is true, sadly. So these companies sell most of their load at fixed rates. And so Meridian argues that over 99% of their sales are at fixed prices. So they're not actually benefiting from the high prices, but instead they have less water to power their generators, so they actually have to go out into the market and buy electricity to sell to their customers. So they are actually going out and paying those high prices to buy the electricity to sell to their customers. So in fact, the reverse is true. Their profits are actually hit by this sort of short-term squeeze in the market.
So it sounds like a really tough environment. What are you doing in the portfolios?
Yeah, great question. And so for quite a long time, we've been talking about should we add companies that will benefit from the uptick. So the economy is really tough at the moment, but what's going to happen next? And that's what the markets worry about. They don't particularly worry about what's happening right now. It's what's going to happen in the next 6 or 12 months. And so for a long time, we've been talking about the fact that we need to look at companies, they're called cyclical companies, that benefit from the uptick. And we've started to add some of those companies to the portfolio. So it's very early stages now. I can't really talk about the names because we're buying them. But yeah, just to give you a sense, we're sort of more optimistic now, which may seem strange, but we're more optimistic because the Reserve Bank has started to cut rates. We're probably near the bottom, and from here, the news is probably going to get better.
Insightful, lots to consider. Thanks, Dan, for joining us. Thanks for watching.